Is it time to buy other stocks besides AMC? Well, it depends because, first of all, I will explain and go through why it makes sense to have other positions and why it doesn't make sense. And it all goes down to your amount of capital, your buying power, your investment capacity, because we are coming from different financial place with different experiences, with different backgrounds, and we don't approach the stock market with the same lenses just based on the parameters I just described earlier. So if you're someone who is trying to build a big position into AMC because you started here with maybe 10s, 20s, 30, 50 shares, and you want to constantly pour in and pour in and pour in as you're maybe averaging down or averaging up because you want to have maybe 1,000, maybe 500, maybe more. I don't know. Maybe you want to have 10,000. Then I will say it will make sense for you, especially if you are still having a tiny bitty position. It will make sense for you to focus on only putting your money into AMC because you want to make sure when it rips that it makes sense to have that kind of life-changing money in your gains, in your profit balance. Now, if you're somebody who, I don't know, especially if you're experienced with the market, especially if you have, other positions prior to getting into AMC, if you're swing trading, day trading, whatever, or just investing by buying some of the long-term stocks like, maybe the NEOs, the high tech, the high growth, or some other stocks that you want to just play on the current trend going, for example, in the energy market, then for you, it may make more sense to actually get into other place in order to get more capital as you want to prepare for the next market crash that may come. Nobody knows exactly whether it will come or no, but it will make sense to actually get prepared by having some cash on hand because most of the riches are being made while we have a market dip. We saw that back in 2020, all right? For those who bought actually because nobody bought. Now the thing is, not everybody bought, I must say. Now the thing is, with AMC, if you're already where you feel like you have a decent position that you are comfortable with, that you wouldn't lose sleep overnight because you want to track the share price every single day and track the line every single minute because it gets you stressed out and you can't even focus on your main things, your households, your work, your job, your business. Well, I will say it will make sense to actually not worry a lot about the line because the DD's already been made. I mean, we all know what we need to know so far. It's just a matter of exposing and putting more pressure into the bad guys in the play. It's just a matter of keeping our conviction strong and getting hype because it's not easy to maintain the hype. And don't get me wrong here, the hype is not like a pump or dump thing. No, the hype is because the share price is just psychological. And I shared with you a video on that yesterday. The share price is just psychological because it doesn't reflect the actual value of the stock because of what is actually going on. And we all know that. So we don't need to have another breaking news, another, never seen before thing that will actually bring us closer to the thing, except the shorts. And by the shorts, I mean the big shorts covering. That's the only thing we need in order to actually get to where we need to go, if you see what I mean. So because of that, I think if you have a little bit of capital on the side and you're actually satisfied and stress-free with your position right now, then it will make sense to actually get into some other place, or you just want to get that cash on hand and wait for the market to have a little more stability, a little more clear direction, especially with this, Fed tapering, inflation thing, the debt ceiling, even though I think it's just more political than anything else. Just to say, be careful on how you spend your money on stocks now, currently, just because things are very unstable and can unravel pretty quickly on one side of the trend or another. So from the upside or the downside, but you want to make sure you get ready. And having cash on side is definitely not at all a bad thing when markets are this frothy.